Justin Carroll leaves disappointment behind last week and finds victory lane this week at Ace Speedway. Dylan Ward continues his winning streak at Bowman Gray in the Sportsman Division.
As they work down the backstretch, he's got the lead. Connor Hall out front, off of turn 4, the trophy stays in Hampton.
This is your Race Weekend Wrap-Up on Race22.com. Friday night, June 19th, racing action. Ace Speedway had 100 laps, 8 cars. Justin Carroll came out victorious. Dustin Rumley finished second. Ryan Millington finished third. Jason York fourth. And R.D. Smith rounded out the top 5. Kingsport Speedway had 11 cars for 60 laps of racing. Chris Van Dyke came home and picked up where he left off right there in victory lane. Zeke Shell finished second, Nick Williams finished third, Derek Lane finished fourth, and Joey Trent finished fifth. Southside Speedway had 10 cars for 40 laps of racing. Chris Johnson finished first, G.R. Waldrop finished second, Mason Bailey finished third, Chris Dawson finished fourth, and Eddie Johnson rounded out your top 5. Anderson Motor Speedway was on the list for racing action Friday night, but unfortunately Mother Nature got the victory there and Anderson Motor Speedway was rained out. Saturday racing action July 20th. Bowman Gray, Burt Myers, and Randy Butner split the features for the Modified Racing Division, and twin features were on the docket for the Sportsman Division. Dylan Ward, still on his winning ways, picked up the feature in race number 1. In race number 2, it was Kevin Neal picking up the feature win in race number 2. Greenville Pickens Speedway had 11 cars for 40 laps of racing. Taylor Satterfield was your winner. Ryan Walker finished second. Cameron Bolin finished third. Zach Bruinger finished fourth. And Archie Adams rounded out your top 5. Hickory Motor Speedway had 14 cars on the grounds for twin 40-lap features. Taylor Gray finished first in race number 1. Nolan Pope finished second. Austin McDaniel finished third. Connor Mosick finished fourth. Thomas Bean rounded out your top 5 in race number 1. Race number 2 saw Taylor Gray hit victory lane once again. Austin McDaniel finished second. Thomas Bean finished third. Chris Husband finished fourth. Nolan Pope rounded out your top 5 in race number 2. Myrtle Beach Speedway, 101 laps on the dockets for 17 cars in the pits. Sam Yarbrough was your winner. Brian Voss finished second. Nick Sanchez finished third. Justin Milliken finished fourth. And Matt Cox rounded out your top 5. Daniel Moss was a late model stock car winner at the Orange County Speedway. It was PRA Tours Night at Southern National Motorsport Park. The PRA Super Late Models, 125 laps for 11 Super Late Models in the pits. Matt Craig was your winner. Jared Fryer finished second. Brandon Setzer finished third. Mason Diaz fourth. And Cody Connor rounded out your top 5. The Southeast Limited Late Model Challengers race for 40 laps, had 10 cars in the pits. Carter Langley picks up the victory. Gerald Benton finished second. Mitchell Wright finished third. Brandon Cox fourth. And Anthony Miller rounded out your top 5. Now let's dive into the sounds of the race of the week, the 11th annual Hampton Heat at the Langley Speedway. We pick up the racing action late into the event as leader Lee Pulliam, followed by Peyton Sellers, when the action picks up on the restart. Now, this is after several racers have fallen out due to heat exhaustion, like C.E. Falk, Casey Wyatt, and Tyler Hughes. But the action is getting ready to pick up on the speedway, and here's the action as the guys called it during the race.
Pulliam clears the 12 machine. Here comes Sellers. He rolls in the corner. Pulliam's going to go around off the front of the 26 car. Caution will fly.
The 9th yellow flag of the night comes out after the 26 of Peyton Sellers gets in the back of Lee Pulliam over in turns 3 and 4, and that spins the race leader Lee Pulliam around. Green flag is in the air, and we got cars going around. Here's Larry King Langley Speedway. The 26, Danny Edwards, hard in the wall.
Quick Nick did not go quickly. The car looked like it would not go into gear. It would not take off. It accordioned back, and unfortunately, Woody Howard with nowhere to go catches Danny Edwards Jr., and he's in the inside retaining wall hard down in turn number 1.
Restart again. restart, pulls out the lead in turns 1 and 2. And we got a car going around the 5 car, gets in the back of the 26. We're talking about the 5 machine. Maybe some retaliation there here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway, and that will slow us now for the 11th time here tonight.
And without a lap complete, that'll put Quick Mick right back up front. The white flag is already unfurled over these cars. Smith is striped by 1.5 feet in the 12 machine. It's going to take a dig by the 77 machine to make something happen special. As they work down the backstretch, he's got the lead. Connor Hall out front, off of turn 4. The trophy stays in Hampton.
Connor Hall wins the Hampton Heat 200 at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway, edging out Nick Smith at lap number 200. What an exciting race in which Connor Hall is going to Dale Lemon's victory lane.
Connor Hall climbs out the car. He has won the Hampton Heat. You put it up on the outside a bunch of times. You led a bunch of laps, and then you led the one that counted the most after a great battle with Nick Smith for those 4 laps.
Yeah, first off, I know it may not look like it, but after around lap 150, my front end pretty much had nothing. And I knew it was going to come down to Nick and I having a rough house, but I really didn't mean to slide up into him in 1 and 2. But once it happened, I kind of just had to go with it. And yeah, I hear the boos. I'm in victory lane. It's okay.
Connor Hall has won the Hampton Heat 200.
Nick Smith finished this race unofficially in 2nd spot. Greg Edwards came home in 3rd. Peyton Sellers will be credited with 4th tonight. Brendan Queen rounded out the top 5.
Race 22's very own Brandon White was on hand to cover the Hampton Heat for Race22.com, and during the post-race activities, he tried to reach out to Lee Pulliam. Lee declined to comment. He did get an opportunity to speak with Peyton Sellers.
Honestly, I was trying to clear Nick Smith getting into 3. When I got a good run on Nick down in the corner, I got on the brakes like normal, and Lee was backing up to me. He had used a lot of brake that time, and I popped him. It was my fault. I turned him around. You know, NASCAR made the decision to put me in the back, so at that, game's over, you know. I chalk it up to racing hard, but they had a decision to make. It was 50-50 whether they made a right call or not. So these races are very hard to win. It's very hard to put yourself in position, and we were just, by the grace of God, we come back and run 4th. But truthfully, you know, everybody I've talked to said Lee drew brakes really hard. I don't know. I was trying to focus on Nick Smith on the outside. Nick had a really good car on the outside, and he was really good on the short run. He showed it there at the end, and I just got into him. It is what it is, you know, and he can hold a grudge and carry it on, but when you brake check me, you drive over my right front fender, and then you back me in the wall over here, like, that ought to be enough, I'd say. Let's go racing now.
Brandon did get an opportunity to speak with Nick Smith.
We had an awesome car, and to come back from 12th or 11th or whatever it was when we fell back with the clutch slipping, and to fight back, to even have a chance to be back there at the end, it really says a lot about that Townsend Oliver race car, and how hard these guys worked on this thing this weekend. This is my first race all year this year in a late model stock car, and I chose a hot one to come out too. So it broke me right in, that's for sure. I can't complain, you know. I'm just a little disappointed I didn't win like anybody would be, I guess, having a chance to win it there, but that's how it goes.
And so what kind of mental adjustments do you have to make when the clutch goes out of your car like that, especially while you're leading?
Well, you got to find them. You got to find them or grind them or miss them like I did on that the second to last restart, and I didn't miss one after lap, whenever the first caution was, I didn't miss one. My clutch started slipping leading the race, and I had a really fast car, and it's just that car issue is nobody's fault. It just happened, you know, and it's just part of racing as well. And I say you really just got to find them. You just got to be at the right RPM to shift, and you got to learn that transmission and learn that motor when it wants to shift.
Brandon was able to get a comment from race director Shane Law.
Basically what it is, when 2 cars are involved, I just put 2 cars to the rear. It's not my place to judge whether somebody does something on purpose or not on purpose. Just 2 cars are racing. 1 car hit another car spun out, so both cars go to the rear. Yeah, only 2 people really know what happened, you know. You know, those guys, I'm just in the tower. I see what happens, and 2 cars involved, 2 cars to the rear.
Well, that's it for this episode of Race Weekend Wrap-Up on Race22.com. Until next week, we'll see you at the races.